two issues which are kind of interconnected. One is the trade corridor discussion, and the other one is the tariffs. How would any new trade or energy corridors actually help Alberta during this time of tariffs? And separately but connected to it, what do you expect to see from the U.S. administration tomorrow when it comes to tariffs?
I'll finish with the last one first. It's hard to predict the U.S. president, and I don't really want to get ahead of myself because I don't want to you never want to be wrong, but my inclination from what I've heard from different different administration officials is that it looks like it's just going to be sectoral application for the most part, and then they talk about reciprocal tariffs, and so we don't have any tariffs on their oil and gas, so I'm assuming that means that they're not going to have tariffs on our oil and gas. I think for the bulk of our food production, with the exception of supply management, I think we also don't have tariffs, so I would expect that our food production should also be tariff-free. He's quite clearly concerned about the auto sector, pharmaceuticals, semiconductors, steel, aluminum, and timber and supply managed industries. So I'll be watching to see what that looks like there. But we've been making the argument that raw materials and intermediate goods should not be tariffed at all, because those go into making value-added products. And I'm hopeful. That's what I'm hoping to see tomorrow. But we really just won't know until we see the result. They seem to be. I've been saying this from the beginning. They seem to be really irritated by national sales taxes because, of course, the Americans, although they have state and local sales taxes, they don't have a national sales tax. So if you read any of the work of the economists advising the president, it seems like that our GST, or harmonized sales tax, is what they really look at as a form of tariff. It isn't, but that's how they're looking at it. So that's maybe where it might end up falling, is if they're going to try to put a border adjustment tax in that's equivalent to that. That would be what I'll be looking for tomorrow.
All right, so we're listening to the Premier of Alberta, Danielle Smith. She's being asked questions about the Trump tariffs that are coming tomorrow against countries around the world, but also about the federal election. We know that Danielle Smith has been no fan of the Liberal government of Justin Trudeau. They had a lot of issues. Now, of course, there is a new Prime Minister. What will that mean? Smith says she's not sure. She has said that Mark Carney says things to her personally, but then says different things to the media, says things differently in Eastern Canada versus Western Canada. Smith will be holding a so-called What's Next panel after the next federal election. We know that much of Alberta is strongly Conservative, and if the Conservatives lose this federal election, then what? She was asked twice by one of the persons on the line about Alberta separation. Danielle Smith saying no, the Alberta provincial government will not trigger a referendum on Alberta separation. Smith saying she has a mandate to make Canada work.